cannot be topped. Oh. Singing to my dog.
What up, y'all? You know who it is. She does everything well, and I do too much. And we are doing too much here live and direct from the uncomfort of our
temporary living environment.
For sure. And how are you doing today?
I'm good.
That's good. Anything exciting for the weekend?
No. You know what? It's it's fall. It's Michigan. It's a beautiful fall, mind you. And I really want to do what we have not done this fall, which I like to do, is the cider mill. I want to go to the cider mill. I want to get hot cider. I want my donut, my variety of donuts.
Do they have gluten-free donuts?
Look, we don't have time for this. So I do not believe they have gluten-free, but this is something that you can do in moderation.
Don't do that. Look, check this out.
Anyway,
you will not.
Rolling back, you asked me. And so, but now the cider mills have tasting bars where they do like... They
really?
do vodkas, wines, hard, not seltzers. I don't know what to say, but
ciders.
Yeah, hard ciders. Why did I say that?
But
I heard that the wine
dope.
and what? Yeah. So see, I'm teetering on the edge of, do we want to take the kids?
Yeah.
Or do we want to go alone so we can be in this tasting bar?
No, we can go tomorrow, and then if it's worth coming back, we can do it again.
All right. Yeah. I think I want to do, because the weather is looking really good, I want to do the cider mill and then maybe take them to like a haunted corn maze or something like that.
Inshallah.
And let them live it up. Live it up. We can go crazy. I think that it'll be fun. So sometime before this fall is over, and really you don't know in Michigan. Michigan, it could flip the script on you real quick and be like, we're going to give you a flurry. But I really want to get out there while the sun is still loving these trees. The trees are turning. So, yeah, that's my plan.
I just want you to know.
It wasn't really a plan, but it is now. Go ahead.
That we have brought the best weather to Michigan while we're here.
Oh, yeah.
Now, from now on, we're just going to have appropriate weather for Michigan.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you just like you said, you never know what you're going to get. But it's been pretty cool.
It has been.
You know?
I mean, we touched down in fall of 19. And when I say fall extended into October, it was so uncharacteristic of Michigan for me, but I had been away for 20 years. So, climate change. And then all of a sudden we had snowfall on Halloween. So, but it held out as long as it could to give me some beautiful weather. And then it didn't snow again for a really long time. So I love Michigan fall in the end. It'll give you a couple of surprises, but for the most part, it's absolutely beautiful.
And I can't lie because I'm actually impressed because at this point, it's like you can just tell that it's about to get real gloomy.
Yeah.
But it
gets overcast here, yeah.
It does, but you've been able to see a lot of sun lately.
Mm-hmm. Michigan is definitely gray once it gets into the
latter
into
part
the
of
groove.
October.
Yeah. But I love every part of it right now.
Yeah, I like it. And it is pretty with the leaves.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, anything you plan to do that's not with me?
Yeah, I'm gonna go check out some friends and see if I can teach them something.
Oh.
Try to I don't know, I guess elevate their life in a way that they need to hear, because I really do feel like all the information that we've learned, we're supposed to talk to these young people, because if you have a relationship with somebody that's in college, like, give them everything you can. It's no need for them to bump into things that you've bumped into, because these distractions out here in the life are real. And some people would like to believe that these distractions are a part of their life and they'll accept it. But, if we can shorten this curve, we can definitely change the perspective of how African Americans are viewed. And the reason why I say that, you know, people say that we're a monolith. I don't think that it's possible for us to be a monolith because we're still trying to assimilate into the society of the Western world white man.
I don't know if we're trying to assimilate.
Yeah, we are, because everybody's chasing the dollar. What African country historically was capitalistic? It was like just run by rule or whatever. But now the capitalistic idea in modern times, to me, doesn't work.
You know what I think is so interesting is that we as a people, we are Americans. We've grown up in it. We've seen the process. We've lived amongst the process or whatever. But there is an innate way about how we operate where we still reflect, even if it's so watered down based on the generations of being here, where we still reflect that the traditional thought processes of African life, like way back. I feel like some of that is still carried in our DNA, but it's been pushed down and pushed back so much, and it's almost unrecognizable. It's almost forgotten for some of us. Is in living in America, you really can't be communal. You got to be individualistic because it's a capitalist society.
That's all they teach.
Yeah, but the goal is not to get lost in the sauce on that, but for us to figure out how to embrace the uniqueness of who we are. And so thinking of the communal way of being and supporting everyone around us, and even you talking about college students and helping to enlighten them. Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Two things I want to know. One thing, did you ever consider going to an HBCU? Yes. Second thing, give me 3 things you wish somebody would have told you to shorten, like to help curb you when you were in undergrad, to get out and be smarter.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yes, I had considered going to Tennessee State was my third choice, but I had left to Michigan my senior year. So that was really my only option. I never considered anything else.
My best friend wanted to go to Tennessee State.
Oh, for real?
I wanted to go to Tuskegee.
No, Alabama.
Look, sure. It wasn't even about...
L.E., shout out to L.E. Oh, in Tennessee State, Roadside. 2 times.
So when I think we were in the 9th grade, we went on a black college tour. And we went to Tuskegee. I'm going to tell y'all, it really, my reason for wanting to go to Tuskegee was just weird, but it was. So number one, going on a black college tour. I grew up near a predominantly white school. My mom, she worked on the campus, so I was often on that campus. So we go on this black college tour, and going on campus and seeing nothing but us everywhere, and just how different it is than what I thought it was supposed to look like, because I grew up around a PWI. It was so, I thought it was the livest thing in the world. But I'm going to tell y'all what made me, out of all these schools, we went to Spelman, Morehouse, Clark, at the time, Morris Brown. Where else we go? Tennessee, ASU, Tuskegee, Fisk. Tuskegee had my heart because... You
said Tennessee? You meant Tennessee State?
Yeah, we went to Tennessee State.
Oh, you said Tennessee.
Tennessee State. Yes, yeah. I'm sorry. Tennessee State, Alabama State University. But when we went to Tuskegee, this is why I wanted to be there. Because I saw all the brown in all of the universities, and I loved everything about everybody. But they greeted us with their drum line, and it was a girl on the drum line, and she killed that snare so bad. I said, y'all, I don't even play an instrument. It wasn't even like I was aspiring to become a part of the drum line. I was like, she's so effing live. I want to be here. I don't know why. But I had decided that because she was on that line and she killed that thing so bad, I said, oh, this school has the spirit. This is where I want to be. I know it's so dumb, but I was in love. And then I got a presidential scholarship from Tuskegee, but it only covered a quarter of my fees. Ugh. And so I had to either go to the PWI half off, or
that sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah, or get a quarter off going down to Alabama with, those fees. So
yeah, that would have been a rude awakening.
Hey, you know what? So this is one of my earlier moments in which I went for the minimum. I went for the bare minimum requirement. I mean, I liked my university, but it wasn't what I wanted. And I didn't push to pursue beyond that to get what I wanted. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I wanted to go to Tuskegee.
No doubt.
Because somebody could drum.
Well, look, check this out. I wanted to talk about that too, because the coldest instrument in the band? The cymbals. Oh my God. Look, check this out. If I wanted to do anything in the entire band, it's the cymbals. Like, I went to North Carolina A&T back in, I think, 2001, and we went to a football game. Shout out to Kim E's. I think some of them, it was some were Deltas and some were AKAs, but they were really cool, and they took us to this football game. And, of course, at that time, they say you only go to the football games for the band. And I promise you, everybody goes to see the drums, right? And then you see these guys with these cymbals. I mean, they like whirling these cymbals, like, oh my God, they like you just imagine, like, it's like it's so cold. And whoosh,
it reminded me of Drumline when the people with the cymbals came creeping from behind the drum line.
Oh, they are so exciting to watch. And look, for real, the cymbals, look, they don't get enough love. Shout out to the cymbals. Look, the word means so much to me. But three things that
go ahead.
I would
you wish somebody would have told you.
Honestly, I wish somebody would have sat me down and told me not to spend money. Like literally sat me. My father told me don't spend all that money on clothes and shoes. He's like, it ain't gonna mean nothing, right? But I told you I had already thought I passed my father, so how is he gonna tell me anything? And I didn't take that information from him because I was horrible with filtering out the correct information. But I wish somebody would have been like, look, like me, I feel like if somebody looked like me, didn't look like a dork, he looked like he's kind of like aware of what's going on with today. He's like, hey, look, this is what you do. I would have, I believe I would have received the information. But when it was only my father and I didn't have anybody, everybody was like when you get these things and people say, man, you look really nice.
Like, I'm buying 3 more.
Oh my gosh.
In 3 different colors.
So I wish somebody would have told me the money that I was taking from the government with the lowest interest rate ever to not use it to buy materials, but instead invest into anything, just anything. So just imagine between 96 and 2001,
just 1,000.
Look, listen, on anything, because it would have been like, oh my gosh.
Just $1,000.
Like it would have just ballooned remarkably. Like,
that's a good lesson.
And you know what? Check this out. I wish I would have even known that when I got my master's. And in 2005, I did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I still used the money to buy materials. So now I get my specialist in 2010, and I'm still doing the same thing. And when we moved to Abu Dhabi, I was still doing the same thing. And now I look back and I'm like, all this money that I've wasted.
Tricked it off.
And I'm like, now I'm playing. I'm
on some shoes.
And this is the thing, like people know that I really cared about those things. And I look at it like people would have been like, let's just imagine if I had that information, we would have had property here and there. And it was like, they wouldn't have been, they were like, man, John is doing this, this, and this. Nobody ain't talking about his shoes or his, and I'm like, what?
Hey, after the pandemic started, I want you all to understand that I haven't come out of a hoodie or some joggers for much of anything. All of those clothes didn't even matter. When we moved back from Abu Dhabi, I gave away 30 pair of shoes. 30 and took 20 with me.
Yeah.
Like, but for what? I like that lesson though. Because I wish someone would have told me.
Okay, and the last one.
Wait, that was only one, wasn't it?
No. I said no, the materials. Don't buy materials.
Oh, okay,
and the
and
refund
then invest
check.
was twice.
Yeah, invest your money from refund checks. If you're gonna take the best interest rate ever, just invest in it.
Okay.
In anything.
I got you.
And the last one. If you value yourself as a man, you won't give yourself to everybody. So I believed when I was in college, my father said, don't get in a relationship. He said that those are the best years of your life. And, you know, once you graduate from college, you're going to be working for the rest of your life. So he's just like, you know, live your best life. And I did. And I maneuvered through college real reckless. And I believe that I wish, like, if I would have known, like, why, like, I was doing what I thought that men do. You know, you're playing the field to get the best opportunity for you to maneuver in life, to have somebody to compliment you. But the idea that you're having sex with somebody, like investing your time into somebody, and you don't really have any intent, hoping that their sex is going to be that good, it's like crazy to me. I feel like we need to invest more time in getting to know the person, because if you invest in the person and find out who they really are, then you could possibly have sex. Because if you have sex with somebody that you don't really want to have a baby with, and you have a baby, he's like, you got to deal with that consequence. And I feel like I could have had a lot of consequences, but by the grace of God, I was blessed to not have any, you know, illegitimate kids.
Public health announcement right now.
For sure.
50% of college students end up having HPV at some point. Human papillomavirus, also known as genital warts, not just on the inside of the woman's vagina, also on the outside, also on the man's penis. Doesn't necessarily have to be where the condom is. And we all know that we are a bit more reckless in college, and we don't always wear a condom. Just trying to save you.
Message.
Okay, well, anyway.
So
those were some good. I love how the first one was pouring into the second one, because good gracious, we did just trick that money off. I don't even know where that money went.
And you know, like, I just think, like, honestly, if like our kids, they don't have to have those problems, right? But I'm worried about, like I know I have young people in college now, and I'm telling them, like, yeah, you should invest your money, because 10 to 15 years from now, that money could look really beautiful, because ain't nobody going to be caring about these things. So it's like, I hope my message is strong enough for them to understand that if you really want to invest in yourself, don't buy clothes and shoes unless you plan on flipping it and making it a business.
Yeah. You know, just to add on to that, that's so crazy. Our 12-year-old, he has been on me about investing his money. And I've been dragging my feet. First, it was because the platform I was trying to use wasn't really talking to my bank or whatever. But he was like constantly on me like, okay, I have this money. I want to take 1,000 of it and I want to invest it. And I was like, oh, that's a really great idea. Okay. And then he would come back. He was like, did you invest my money yet? And I was like, haven't done it yet. I'm going to do. He was like, have you invested my money? Like, he kept coming back, and finally I was like, oh yeah, you know, because time is money, and I'm messing around with his stuff. And this is a lesson you telling college students to get into. He was trying to let me know that this was a priority for him. So the 12-year-olds are doing it now, y'all. Even younger than that. So you know what I'm saying?
Hey, the more exposure you give your kids, the better they'll be able to respond with tough decisions later in life. The way I think ultimately what helped me become successful was me leaving my household early, because I felt like I wasn't safe or something. Like mentally, I just wasn't safe, and I just had to go out and go get what I needed. But I wasn't prepared for real. I was just prepared to look like I could fit the part. And now that I see where I was and where I've come, I can give all of these tools to my son. You know, I don't understand why we as men feel like we can't grow from the previous generation, grow a lot more. Like, trying to get better every day is what a father is. You're not a father because you figured it out as far as this works and this doesn't work. This may work today, but it may not work tomorrow. So we have to look for ways to improve, to make sure, like, because I feel like this. If I invest all my time into my kids, they can't do nothing but mature in the way that it would look like. But if I don't give all my time to the kids, I'm just hoping by luck that they're going to figure it out on their own. So in partnership with my wife, we have these conversations on what can we do to put our kids in a better situation so that tomorrow it's not going to be as tough as it was for us. You know, like,
that's the hope. Yeah, that's the goal.
No. I don't think that's hope. I really believe that's like the laws of life. Anything you invest in is going to mature and it's going to look like what it's supposed to look like. If you don't invest, like, I'll tell you this, since I have been home, I can see the relationships with all of you have changed with me.
Yeah.
In comparison. So my time is invested in becoming a better husband, a better father, and a better caregiver for this dog. And I can see
dog.
I can see how everything is a lot better. You know, in comparison to what it was before, because I just felt like I really didn't think about those things. Now I look forward to trying to, like I said, get you to that peace that I found. So, inshallah.
I want some peace.
I don't know if you really want peace.
I do. I be wanting people to leave me alone. Let me be. Is that the same thing? I don't know. It's on multiple levels.
So, why? Why is it on multiple levels?
Just, you know, peace of mind in what I'm doing, and peace of mind in my relationships with my children and my family, to make sure that I'm covering my bases, and also just peace of mind for myself. Everybody need that quiet time alone. And for me, I have to leave the house in order to get my peace.
And you know what? Okay, and
sometimes I can't even do that because people be, you know, they'll call or send messages when it's your peace time. That's no slight against you. I'm just saying it's always been like that.
But I want you to know this though, like, you guys are my peace.
Okay.
So I want that to happen.
I need a couple of different pieces for me on my side.
But because you don't know what it looks like. I'm going to show you what it looks like.
Oh, okay, great.
At some point, you'll be able to have peace and not have to go to a river. You'll just go to the river because you just like it.
I do like it, though.
No, I know. No, I'm saying you're not for peace, though, because you will already be it.
But it's not the inner peace. It's peace in my environment. Like, not a lot of talking and movement. It's aesthetically, it's peaceful, like being in here. So we're in a temporary living environment right now because we're transitioning, you know, having moved back and all what have you. So we're in this apartment. It has the regular creamy colored walls. I'm not interested. That doesn't feel good to my spirit. Versus going to the river, you see all the green, you see the red, you see the yellow.
You know what? I'm too shallow to think that much.
So aesthetically,
I got you.
It feels good. The sound of nature is better for me in my brain.
Power of words.
Yeah. So when I'm saying peace, that inner peace, like, I understand the need to gather that inner peace, and I'm working on that. But when I go there, it's just peace in my environment that I'm looking for.
I got you.
So anyway, let me tell you about my 3. I might not even have 3, but I know one of the things I wish someone would have told me. I definitely started undergrad undeclared. And I thought I knew what I wanted, but I started undeclared. And I wish that I would have talked to people in the areas I thought I was interested in, like people who are doing the work, and not talk to the counselors about how to make my course load fit a certain major.
Got you.
Because I never really, it's different to be interested in some majors and wanting to do whatever they're doing for the rest of your life or for a good portion of your life. So when I started declaring which I changed my major a couple of times, but when I started declaring a major, it all sounded good to me because I was interested in viruses. Specifically, I was interested in
Corona.
No. Prior to Corona, I was definitely interested in helping young women in my community with their sexual health, understanding viruses. And at the time, in the 90s, the late 90s, it was this thing about, so many young Black women were getting HIV. And so I was on this thing where I was like, I'm going to teach them in a way that they understand and they protect themselves. There are so many components that led to why we were contracting this virus at the rate that we were. But I was interested in it. And so then I got into micro. Well, I wasn't really interested in micro. And then somebody told me, if you do a double major in medical technology, then XYZ. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that. And I never asked anybody that actually worked in the field, what exactly is it really going to end up being? Now, my mentor, God bless her, she really worked with me. She was a microbiologist, but she literally loved viruses. I was interested in viruses because I loved Black women and I wanted to find a way to help my people. So my purpose was different, and I thought it wasn't. I didn't explore. And I ended up wasting a lot of time and money. And then I went into McNair Schropp and I did my project in a micro project. And once I really got immersed into it, I did not have to do that whole program to know I did not want to do it. Once I really started talking to the mentor assigned to me, I was like, I don't want this. And I went to the director of the program and I was like, please let me change to this. Because there was another woman, I wanted to follow her. She was like, no, because that's rude. You done already got this woman all caught up and blah, blah, blah. No. So I had to do it. And I was like, when I left out of that program, I said, I never want to see the inside of a lab again. And there are a lot of people that we went to school and they didn't like the degree, but they finished it. And then they just went into the lab. Or they were like, I'll do another degree and then I could go do this instead. But I never talked to the people who actually did the job. That's one of the things that I would really like to do, is be able to make those of us who have completed certain degree programs and entered into the field, give them a connect them to the people who are entering into college and who are into college, to kind of help them to say, this is the reality of it.
Yeah.
When I was in nursing school, they told us, they said, everything we're teaching you right now, we're going to let you know that you're going to go through a part in your early part of your nursing career where you're going to feel like it was all a lie. When you get in on the floor, it's completely different than what you're learning here. They're going to reteach you this, reteach you that, whatever. And I don't think anybody should. There's someone who loves every type of job. But I wasted so much time and money because the basic description of it sounded like something I would be interested in. Do not waste your money on a degree with things you're interested in. Let it be something that either you love or it is a building block to something you love. And if it's not, ain't no shame in leaving college. Number one, because finishing that degree is expensive as hell. And in most cases, the job you get coming out of college is not going to be able to cover that student loan bill.
Yeah, but you don't want to, what would you recommend?
I would recommend, like
if they don't continue college.
Oh, you continue. No. I do believe that you should. I wish that either I would have talked to people so that I could find what was either a building block to what I wanted to do, or was what I wanted to do. And if not, I would have taken time off to work in a job adjacent to what I felt I was interested in. So I could watch the people in action.
So do you think that at that time you would have had, like most people in college, they want to graduate so they can get a job. Do you think you would have had the mindset to take off a gap year to work with somebody to see?
No, I think that's definitely something that we all need to be taught. Like once you leave, it doesn't mean you don't go back. You just go back with more focus. I feel like even going in at 18, some people know what they want. Some people don't know what they want at 18.
So you're saying that kids should be able to stay with their parents a little longer until they figure, yeah, for sure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because we're still kids.
And
like at 18, I was still a kid.
We shouldn't be messing up our kids' future investing in something that may not even benefit them later anyway.
Sir, that's for a different podcast episode. But yes, because it's a lot to that. There's a parenting part to that we would definitely discuss, but I agree. I think that, and I think it's harder for people to make that decision and say, you know what, college isn't for me, or it's not for me right now. Mm-hmm. I need to get some things together. It's harder for us to do that because at 18, we're seen as adults. Yeah. And then we're booted out of the house.
Gotta make a decision.
Yeah. So that's definitely something I want to talk about from the standpoint of being a student and also a standpoint of being a parent. And that's a part of that rescripting that we're talking about. But for me, I feel like it's a waste of money if you're not using it for what you're going to do when you walk away.
Correct.
And when you walk away, you need to know that, I don't know who told who what, when you sign them promissory notes, y'all, it looked like imaginary money. And then all of a sudden, like $3,500 ends up in your account and you all geeked up. But hey, that 35 ain't nothing compared to when they slap that nice big old cumulative bill on your behind. But yeah, so I really would have wished someone would have stopped me and said, like, the counselors are only there to help you get what degree is it you're looking for? What's your major? And I'm gonna help you work these classes out to make it make sense. But nobody is helping you explore why you're following anything. And so I think that for some people who are more like me, I was interested and I thought being interested meant this is what you go into, and it's not.
I think college counselors should get more feedback from like seasoned adults.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey,
like what could I have done?
I want to go back to the counselor. I want to go back to the office and I want to tell them, hey, y'all made me mad. Yeah, like, I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm gonna send you this bill because your practicing was horrible.
You know, the other thing is nobody. You know, when we went into college, they didn't have those tests where it kind of sorts through. They ask you questions and it kind of helps you see what areas you might, based on your responses, where you might fit best. I haven't done any of those, but I think colleges should offer them off top freshman year. That should be something that they're doing, and it gives some information to those freshmen as they're walking through, you know, when you're choosing these classes to think about. I think that should be an orientation session, because it's a waste of money and it's a waste of time, and it's so frustrating for some people to not really have any direction, and they don't have anybody to help them. And now we're considered adults. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I that was my one. My number two would be, I wish someone would have told me that you don't need every T-shirt and cup they give you for a credit card application. I promise to God, I came out of college with maybe 6 credit cards. For what? In the credit cards I ended up like paying off, I can't tell you what I spent the money on. I didn't go on trips. That's another thing. I didn't go on trips. I didn't have anything that when I left out of college, I'd be like, that was a good use of that credit. I didn't even know how to use credit. I didn't know how they definitely trusted me with a credit card. And I was in that mug with no training wheels,
You
just
know what?
running
I
into
am
walls.
so disappointed. I never asked you about that.
Oh, okay. And then that's another thing.
Because you know what?
Knowledge of credit card. That's another episode, sir. We have to get into that later. But then I think my third one.
My credit was good.
My third one would be I didn't have sex with a lot of people in college. I didn't. And I'm okay with that. I didn't date a lot either. So then this is my other thing, right? I would say women date. Don't date to find your husband. Now,
Please
I'm saying
don't.
this way, and then I'm one of the people that came out of college and I married the person. But no, it's my turn. It's my turn.
I agree.
So what I'm saying is, women, whenever we like someone, we don't ever think he'll be fun to hang with. He'll be fun to kick it with. It usually ends up being a build up into something. And I wish I would have just had fun. I wish I would have dated guys and gone out. And when I say dated, it doesn't mean I was sleeping with everybody, but I wish I would have dated more people, gave more guys an opportunity, like, you know, to really hang out and enjoy myself rather than feeling like everything had to be, well, I like John. We be talking. So I'm not really talking to anybody else, but John is. But for some reason, and then it's like, yeah, there's no value in you holding yourself for someone who is not holding themselves for you. So unless it's a mutual decision, I really feel like women should feel just as free to go out and date as many people. Like, and this is also a lesson to men. Just because women date multiple men, it does not mean that she is having sex with all of them. And even if she is, it's her choice. As long as she's being safe, that's her decision. But I don't think we should feel bad about having a good time with multiple people. We should be shopping too, because you're finding what you like and what you don't like and exploring, you know what I'm saying? And there were a lot of opportunities to meet different personalities and see what I like and what I don't like, and, learn about the complexities of people. I wish I would have done more of that. So, ladies, my third piece of advice would be for women to date for fun. Strictly. If it becomes something else, then that's great. But date for fun. Well, like for your enjoyment.
Is it like, okay, check this out. I'm just wondering. When if they date for fun, they don't want to have the intent of anything serious, right? But you can't really stop it. So it's like, why play the game if that's not your intent?
Well, my thing is this. Okay, so say I'm dating John, Joe, and Jeff, and we're doing it for fun. It doesn't mean that all of them are going to want to fall in love with me. It doesn't mean that I'm going to fall in love with everyone.
Okay, so
if something ends up where I end up liking John more and he likes me more and we want to do something, then okay, then Mutt and Jeff or whoever the other two people were I named, they can go and we can explore it. But I felt like
I didn't understand your tactics either, so don't. I know
you didn't. But what I'm saying to you is that I'm not saying that all women are like me, but I'm saying that there's some sitting out there, and I'm talking to you, the ones who are sitting out there that would like me, and saying, date for fun, date for your enjoyment, date for you to be happy. And
you know what we could talk about? Remember how? No, I'm talking to you. How men and women date for different reasons.
Oh yeah, it's a different podcast, y'all. It's a different podcast. That one right there is gonna be so.
All right.
I want y'all to revisit that.
So those are solid 3 though.
Yeah. Credit cards, choice and career degree program, and dating for fun.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what do you think? So tell me this, as a parent now, what do you think that your kids, what do you want your kids to know that you haven't told them?
Mm. I don't know. There are so many lessons that I learned that I hadn't even, it doesn't sit at the forefront of my mind. It takes a trigger. It takes something happening for me to be able to impart that bit of wisdom that I might have gotten. I think that the things that are going to stand out to me before they go to college, is that what you just asked? Y'all, I'm so scatterbrained. You asked what would I want to tell them before they go?
No, I'm saying.
What? Go. Tell me. What was the question again?
What would you give to your kids now that you haven't given to them yet? Like, what type of advice would you give?
Oh, I was thinking about advice before they went into college. Okay, so what kind of advice? Oh, okay. So we have 2 freshmen right now. And one of the conversations I want to have with them is about sex. And I want to have a conversation about sex because even though I don't feel like they're on that level now where they're thinking of it, and that's me being really open and honest, because I know I thought of it very early and I'm thinking about their personalities. I also know that the level of, I just need them to know what is possible, what thought processes are possible with other people, how they've been raised, how they see sex, how it can become something that, they're pressured into, and how, using your resistance skills and advocating for yourself and whatever choices you make. So I feel like it's multi-levels to a sex talk. I don't feel like it's just one. I feel like it's like a full-on course. But I feel like we need to begin discussing sex to understand, just to understand that it's not important.
It isn't.
But it sounds
not
like
at that age. It's not.
Yeah, it sounds like a parent to say that though. But I want to come from a really honest perspective of someone who was sexually active in my teens, and just so you know, I'm very, very it is all my intention to be completely open and honest about all of my choices and why I made them what I was thinking and how it panned out, because I want them to understand, I know exactly what my thought process. I'm not trying to manipulate them into just doing what I want them to do. I'm going to tell them how I was thinking, and it was stupid. Like, my thought process it made all the sense in the world to me at that time. But in the grand scheme of things,
I think the way that we told them. No, the way that we presented them, we said that if, like, whatever you want to be when you grow up, that if you end up doing adult-like things, you get these consequences. Your trajectory is going to go down. Remember?
Yeah, but we're very, we've already taught the sexual anatomy. We've talked about childbirth. They've seen childbirth either by C-section and vaginal birth. Like, they understand that part. They understand, like, we've had to.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying, when you say that you want to have this conversation, how in depth do you want to go in?
Yeah, I feel like I want to break down the basic parts of sex, a very open and honest conversation, and include anatomy, include what happens afterward, include the possibility of STDs, just like we were talking about HPV earlier. That's some people get HPV and it goes away on its own. Some people, they have it for life. Some people, it continues to flare and you end up giving it to someone else. We're in the age of HPV vaccinations now, but not everybody has them.
Yeah.
And there are like 100 different types, and the vaccine is going to hit all of them. So you're going to live with something for the rest of your life. And you're going to have to, if you're a really honest person or a good person, you're going to tell whoever you're going to have sex with, look, I have this, it's not active, whatever the case may be, depending on what virus they have. So you got to be responsible then. That's added responsibility. So if you, and it's easy to get things and not you know, so that's something you gotta live with for the rest of your life. But I don't believe in scare messages to scare, just to inform. So
got you.
There's gonna be information about that. There's gonna be information on how it's supposed to make you feel, because what you see on Netflix and for kids who have access porn, that's not real. You think that that's what it's going to be, and it's not. And so there are going to be real open conversations, and it's going to begin with, okay, so tell me what you know. You know what I'm saying? This is another podcast. That's a whole different podcast of how we would go into it.
No doubt.
But yeah, I probably gave most of what I would say, but sex. I think sex is the first thing I would want to address with them, because I feel like all it takes is one time for it to turn into, like, we have one boy and one girl. So if it's a boy, you know, and he gets someone pregnant, it's that parent's decision what happens next with that girl. And if there's the baby, we're responsible. You know what I'm saying? So it has a rippling effect.
Oh, yeah, with so many ways.
We have that decision, then we have our own daughter and her body and what she's capable of. And, you know, it's so many things to think about.
It is.
So sex, yes. And I think about that because it's a lifetime commitment after that situation happens, whether it's the STD, whether it's pregnancy, whether it's a situation in which you have not been, our son or our daughter or our nephew have not been properly taught about consent.
Correct.
And you get into a situation and now all of a sudden it wasn't consensual. And our nephew and our son are like, but we thought no. So now that's a lifetime of problem. Our daughter not understanding whether or not she can say no or how to manage that, and her getting into a situation that emotionally impacts her for a lifetime. Sorry, y'all. This is really another podcast altogether episode. But I'm saying that came to my mind first because it has a lifetime.
No, I love the content.
Yeah.
I love this.
And
this
then
topic.
The other thing I would talk about is what you were saying, like investing. I think that that's definitely something that I did not know to do at a young age. And by the time I learned, like, I've lost, years. But there are other people, like you've known someone who's been investing since he was like 19, 20 years old. And it pays off, and it didn't take much to start. But if you start young.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just exposure, being aware.
Yeah. And so those are two things that I didn't know enough. Yeah. And I want to make sure they know enough.
Definitely. I think our intent is pretty proactive with trying to make sure that we're ahead of the curve, because we do think that, I mean, something's not always going to go right, but as long as we continue to prepare, we can reduce the amount of stress we got to take. So it's like just being proactive, because we were kids, and so we have to expect them to mess up, but we have to just give them as many tools as possible so that they can make the best decisions.
Is there anything that you would want to impart on them now?
That was definitely it. I wanted to talk about that because I don't, like I told you, even me as a teenager having sex, not knowing what is too much, because it's just the confusion of no really means yes type stuff. And that in looking back, I can say that,
or no doesn't necessarily mean no.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think that I was blessed in so many different situations, but I remember being aggressive in high school. I didn't take advantage of anybody because it stopped. But in my head, when I look back, it definitely wasn't the intent, because, when you have an idea that something's supposed to happen and it doesn't, and then you think like no really means yes, or no,
it can still mean yes.
Yeah,
I just got to work a little harder.
Correct.
Right.
So it's like, and then when I got to that point, I was like, oh, this might be when it's going
one of these
too far.
moments.
Yeah. So I learned that but this is what changed when I went to college. I didn't ever want that to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, I was like maybe a sophomore or junior or something. But when I got to college, I made sure like the woman wanted to have sex. I was not really trying to, I needed you.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times where women thought that I wasn't interested, it was because.
Hey, that'll come up on the first time that I stayed over at your apartment. That's another episode.
You're so silly.
No, but that definitely that goes with consent. So that's coming, y'all. That story right there was so.
But
funny,
see, you can even say, but from that, I really did mean that. Like I was like,
I'm not gonna do anything.
I need you to feel like you find me attractive enough to come over. Yeah, no.
So yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
For those are for episodes to come. I'm excited to talk about all of those because I feel like there's funny parts in it, but it's serious parts. But man,
definitely, yeah. But look, is anything else you want to say before we get out here? Because I didn't realize we was talking this long.
Nah, I'm good for today.
All right, I want to give a shout out to WeBuyBlack.com. You can get your household needs and your really a lot of stuff that you would typically go to Walmart or Kroger. You can just, I'm definitely recommending those who can do it I encourage you to buy within our community so that we can build capital and assets within us. It's not to separate, but it's just to help us catch up because they've had this head start. And if we don't put back into the community, then we'll just keep talking about, hey, something's got to change. So let's be the example that we want to see.
Definitely. And I want to give a shout out to For the John. It's a Black woman. I found her on Instagram. And she has this one sweatshirt. I just got it. I love it. It says it wouldn't be wise to bet against the kid, right? Mm-hmm. But a John is like a JAWN. It's like an intelligent, unapologetic woman who is just, she's boss, but it's just beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And it's like just being bold and saying, I'm not going to feel bad for being like, I'm embracing all of this. And I love her, like the color choices, some of the sayings she has on some of these sweatshirts, I love. But the one that said it wouldn't be wise betting against the kid, that was one of my favorites.
What's her name again?
What is her name? Her name, the Instagram site is For the John.
For the John.
Yeah, and that's JAWN. But I do love her and her product. I just got her sweatshirt a couple of weeks ago, and I love it. So I love it. So I would like to put it out there that I love her product, and I would like for people to just take a look, see. Try her out. It's cute.
Definitely. Well, with that being said, attack the day with relentless tenacity. Bend all opportunities to your will. Be great on purpose.
Bang, bang, bang. Skeet, skeet, skeet.
Boom.